What's up, people? 100 Spoke Riders here. This video is going to be raw. It's going to be hard to film. It might be a little shaky, but I'm going to show you how to get these wiper arms off this 77 ElCamino. I got the passenger side off, this little piece right here. If you can push this piece in, then you can get the arm off of here. I still got to do the driver's side, so let me show you how I did it. And there's actually some extra steps you got to take on the driver's side arm. Now, you see here, I got the wiper arm cocked up in this position. I'm gonna use this here. This did help me out a lot in taking off the passenger side. But you see this piece here? If you wedge this flathead screwdriver about like that, and you basically just push it. You push it out. And it should pop right off of there. Alright, I got it pretty close. I almost got to the point where it's about to come off. Here, you see that right there? I got it past the point. At this point, all you gotta do is just slide it this way more. So this should, at this point, just slide right off. But the extra step you gotta take on this one is you actually gotta take this piece off somehow too. And I'll figure that out once I get this all the way off. Now, what I did is basically wedge this like this. Just lifted it, popped it off there. I almost hit myself in the face, but now I got this piece off. That was the hardest piece right there. I gotta get this piece off next. Now, I got an idea of how it goes. I just took this flathead and just pushed it forward. And as you see here, this piece just slides forward like that. Once you slide that piece up like that, this just pops right off. And then you can pull your whole wiper arm off of there. Okay, there were 6 bolts, 3 on this side, 3 on the other side, holding this whole wiper arm assembly on. So I was trying to figure out how the hell to get it out of there. And then I just kind of wiggled it and played with it. And then you pull it out through the passenger side, keeping it tight and kind of twisting it along the way. The whole thing will come out like so. Stick that right there in the bucket. This is all the stuff I've taken off this Firewall so far. I'm gonna clean all this stuff up and reuse as much as I can. This, I don't think I'm gonna be able to reuse. This is kind of a vent. It's all broke up in little pieces inside of there. I might have to see if I can find a new one of those or make something. I'll figure that out later. I think where it's at now, I can successfully strip it down and paint it. This is kind of a budget build, so there's no need to get too crazy with it. Now, I could go even further and take all this stuff off on the driver's side. There's a lot of stuff on the driver's side that's still hooked up. Like this is the steering shaft with the steering wheel still hooked to it. This is for the brake booster, so that doesn't really come out. I mean, I'm sure I can make it come out, but I don't think it's that serious. The wiring harness thing, I don't really think it's that serious. I think if I just tape it up real good, it'll be okay. And then the stuff like for the emergency handle and the pedals, the little bolts that come through for the pedals and all that stuff, I just don't really see it necessary to take all that off. This, because it's sticking out like this, is not going to really hinder my budget paint job I'm about to do here. I'm going to paint this, right? A lot of the bolts and a lot of the stuff that's inside there, I don't really want to paint the bolts, but I don't want to put them back in rusty. I know there's some kind of solution where you can restore them. It'll strip the rust off of them, and then you dip them in something else, and it's like it'll coat them, some kind of coating. You guys know what that's called? I got to figure that out. If you know what that's called, that coating that restores the coating that restores rusty bolts, where you put them in the solution, it strips all the rust off, and then you stick them in this coating, and they look like they're new. They come out looking like new from the factory. If you guys know what that's called, let me know in the comment section so I can get that on order and figure that out, because I'm not trying to scuff each bolt down and paint it. It's not that serious. I just want to dip them in something and slap them back on. Straight budget build. What's up there, people? Hunter Spoke Riders here, and man, it's been a hectic week, but I'm back on the ElCamino. Now, yes, the Firewall is in primer. I just finished spraying it and just finished cleaning the gun out. The tape job is not the greatest, but I was on a tight time frame. I was basically started late. I was trying to beat the clock, beat the sun. I wanted to try to do this while the sun was still out and while the temperature was halfway warm, because you're really not supposed to spray under 50 degrees. And when I started, it was like 66. So yeah, this is it. I think it looks pretty good from where it started before, where it was at. I think once the black gets on there, it's going to be all good. I know I didn't tape the frame right, but I just got in a rush, so I had to do all this real quick. When I sanded this down, I was doing a little by little every day, a little bit at a time, smoothing it out the best I could. And right when I was about to do this, it rained for like 2 days straight. And in this corner, the rain fell on there, and I had to go back and resand all the rusty stuff from all the rain falling on it. So after that 2 days of rain, I knew I had to get some primer on this ASAP, just in case it rains again. I did order some seam sealer, just some generic stuff I got off of Amazon. I will be seam sealing all this before I put the paint on. I was going to seam seal it before I put the primer on, but because of the rain situation, I said, what the hell? Let me go ahead and put this primer on. I might seam seal it and lightly scuff it down a little bit more, and then I might put another coat of primer on it. We'll see. I'll go into more detail about the seam sealer. I got it in the garage, but I'll go into more detail about it in a different video as I'm putting it on. This primer actually is a lot easier to spray because I actually thinned it down this time. I went and got some, it calls for mineral spirits to thin it down. So I got some of that. And that's what it's looking like, man. So I'm probably gonna let this dry probably till Monday. I got something to do on Sunday, so I ain't got really time to mess with it. I'm just out here tinkering with this old 77 ElCamino. All right, people. Hunter Spoke Riders, signing out.